Hello, I'm Nancy Levine, and I'd like to welcome you to today's AACG meetup, which is an exciting sneak preview of Habitat Gallery's annual International Glass Invitational Exhibition, showcasing more than 400 works by over 100 artists from around the world. The VIP program for Glass54 Unity begins April 22nd, and the exhibition opens to the public Saturday, April 25. Let me just when my husband and I decided to seriously pursue collecting contemporary glass, we understood that it would require more than just acquiring pieces. We would need to deepen our knowledge of the various techniques, build relationships with artists and galleries, and spend time in galleries and museums. It was important to us to approach the process with intention and purpose. One of our earliest and most memorable experiences was attending Habitat's International Exhibition in Detroit a few years ago. We immersed ourselves in artist talks, explored the Shirley and Sherwin Glass collection in the Flint Institute of Arts, and encountered in person sculptures that we had previously only seen online. We were instantly captivated. I actually was smitten by the experience, and I'm thrilled to be returning next week to my fourth Habitat International exhibition. Once again, Aaron Schey, Corey Hampson, and the Habitat staff have planned another exciting event. The highlights include seeing the stunning Chihuly installation at the Guardian Industries Contemporary Art Collection, attending a glass demonstration by Stephanie Trenchard, and listening to artist talks by Richard Jolly, Demetra Theophanis, Dean Benson, and Sarah Vaughn. Aaron also confirmed that many of the artists who participated in the meetups that I coordinated will be at this event. That includes Michael Taylor, Alex Bernstein, Michael Janis, Baldassar Lucaci, and Marlena Rose. Together, these experiences create an immersive and dynamic celebration of glass art, making this international exhibition an essential event for anyone passionate about the exciting world of contemporary glass. Now it gives me great pleasure to turn the program over to Aaron Schey. And if you have questions, please put them in the chat. We will have time to address the questions at the end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you, ACG. Thank you, Linda, and everybody for joining me today. So I'll quickly put on my top hat of power to make sure you know this is the big event of the year. Now I'll quickly take it off because I did my hair today. So I'm honored to have you all join me. I'm doing the Zoom today from the gallery. Usually I do it from home. So I apologize for my quality in this camera, but you're not going to be looking at me very often. I'm going to take over your screen and you can see my desktop here and start showing you some of the amazing things we have going on here for Glass 54. What a legacy. 54 years of this exhibition. I can't really tell you about other things that have lasted this long, especially this glass exhibition. So we're honored to do this once again and share in the legacy of Ferdinand Hampson, our founder. So here's our website. Sharing, like we mentioned earlier, Nancy mentioned earlier, our theme is unity this year. We really need to get together and celebrate the arts together. And we really hope you all join us. Many of you have RSVP'd. Let me start my PowerPoint and get rolling here. So thank you again for AACG. Thank you all for doing this every single week. It's really incredible. I was doing Zooms alone for a long period of time. It's a lot of work. So thanks again. So let's get into it. So Glass 54 is amazing. Corey and I have really put out some amazing feelers out there to get some new artists in our show with some very impressive work. I'll talk about this car a bit more, but this is a full-size roadster made out of glass on display right when you walk in the gallery. And we got in a fight of where to put it because I'm worried about traffic and Corey wants a big presentation, but it's in a safe place now and it's impossible to miss. So and the artist installs it and deinstalls it himself. And he came in from Tel Aviv. He was in the country already, but he came in, installed it, and it's something that will be on display. And we're trying to use this with the local marketing to get people to come in. We're in the Motor City, want to have a glass car, bring people in to see the show. So we got two of the channels coming in and working on the rest. So we talked about Unity already. This invitation reached your mailbox, and you get this stuff. Respond to me. I'd love to hear from you guys. You can make it, you can't make it, but one way or another, it's love. It's a great way to reach out and talk to people and share the story of this incredible exhibition. So our judges this year are Britt Macho from the Fort Museum of Art. She's judging again. She judged the previous year. Sharon Carmesian, a big supporter of the arts and a big member of AACG. James Gerhardt, the new president of AACG. Great to have him. Great legacy of glass with him. And Dennis Coy, who's the director of the observatory, I think in Wisconsin. Someone Corey's partner with, someone who we're exposing more glass to, and he was able to join us this year. As Nancy mentioned, a demonstration is by Stephanie Trenchard, along with talks by Richard Jolly, Demetra and Dean, and Sarah Vaughn. Sarah's new to our Habitat family, so we're great to give her a spotlight. If you don't know her work, it's kind of similar-esque to Emily Brock with humanoid features in a scene, but her work is way more personal, dealing with her life and her views versus just generic work. So it's really a great way to explore a different body of work. A quick note, Ferd and Kathy have planned these trips to Venice. They sold out in 2025 and they just sold out again in 2026. So if you're interested in going again, join us for 2027. Contact us because they really love going to Venice and I would love to join them too. As I mentioned in the text, our Masterworks auction is up. It's 46 works of unique glass art at great prices. The auction world's getting pretty exciting. I see them happen every day. I accidentally buy stuff at auction sometimes. I know how that happens. So take a look. You may find something you like. Ferd and I are getting together tomorrow to do our one-on-one talk about every piece in the auction. That'll be posted online. Get an email if you're on our mailing list so you can tune in for that. It's kind of fun because Ferd has so many great stories about the works. I asked him today because I just got the Sono Lino DVD in the mail that we're playing during our weekend about how Lino got so popular in the 90s. What really got him exciting, and I guess the long story short, is Chihuly brought Lino to America and he blew everybody's minds. And it got attention from galleries and attention from clients, and that increased his popularity of his insane talent, which continues today, even though he's retired, but he may still be demoing somewhere. Here's the auction. It kind of looks like this on our Glass Masterworks site. Click on the link in the chat or email me. I can send it to you later. Just some of the amazing pieces. Look at that top right piece. That's a Sophie Ryder drawing, which is kind of rare for us to have, which is kind of exciting. Powell. The lower right is a Toshio Azumi that's 80 inches tall. It's huge. Vivian Wang head. Never quite seen a head alone for sale, but we have that in the auction. As long as Littleton Vogel, Chihuly, Fujita, Stankard, so many more. All right, moving on. So in the mail, you received one of these cards, and these can't see it because I'm a green screen, but you can see it in front of you. And when you come to our show, you trade this card in for a glass talisman, which is on the left there, made by Deanna Clayton herself. And these are bigger than quarters. She just sent me a picture of all these cool coins she made. And this will be your ticket to the Glass Speakeasy party being held at Corey's house for this big party, our big celebration, our big annual glass party. So it's something you must have to attend, something different. And if we have a speakeasy theme, interesting cups and goblets, people will be there to have a great time. Last year was the masquerade, and this year is the speakeasy theme. Just something fun and different. So if you've been to Habitat before, this show is pretty incredible. We have over 400 works from on display. We invite over 100 artists to the show. We have a big turnout we'll cover in a second. And the camaraderie, seeing everybody. It's so much fun. The first event is at Axiom Studios, which is across the street from us, which is a production studio for glass owned by the Andrew Madvin and his brother. And we go over there and we have a good time. They do some glass blowing. It's the very first event. We also invite the local artists to come and join us too, and the museum people, because why not have a great event celebrating the arts in Michigan? And people come. This is our, 54th year of doing this show. It's so great to see everybody have a great time. We put a tent up. All the artists are here, and we're doing a signing this year for Jen Blazina. We'll cover that in a minute. But the camaraderie is amazing. You might know some of these people. These people will be here this year too. Marlena Rose, Alex Bernstein, Martin Blank, and more. Tim Tate's joining me today. He's as co-host here. He'll be talking about his work, bringing him back into our Habitat family. So we'll give him a spotlight in a minute, which is amazing to see. He's made some amazing pieces and a new collaboration piece we'll talk about. So this is the grand opening. Many of you people know Ray Chimeni there in the middle, ACG member. We had over like 12 to 1,300 people come through the gallery on Saturday night. This year, we mixed it up a bit because we had such a successful show in Sarasota. We opened up Friday and Saturday to the public. So they have an awareness now that the gallery is open to come see if they don't want to come to the big event Saturday night. And we're doing this just to keep the energy level higher. And believe it or not, it's a lot in Facebook advertising. So we had a lot of success in Sarasota with that. That place, our 4-day event was packed from open to close for all 4 days. And we'll see how it happens here in Detroit. So it's a lot of fun. So who will be at Glass 54? Look at the names of artists on this list. Two full rungs of artist names, and everybody will be here. I'd read them for you, but it's a lot of reading. But we're grateful to have all these artists join us. This is what they believe in. They believe in this show. And it's a great opportunity for them to meet new clients and meet old friends. So it's so much fun. So what to expect? Maybe you guys saw this little graphic in my email. VIP Speakeasy. There's solo exhibitions by Tim Tate and Jen Blazina. Also, our auction, the Guardian tour that we haven't done in 12 years that Nancy mentioned, which is an amazing experience. I had a chance to walk through that, and I actually just built a 22-page document discussing all the artists in the Guardian collection. That was way bigger than I thought it would be. And I used AI to build it, believe it or not, talking about all the individual artists so I can learn something. And I don't know if I'm going to give everybody a 22-page document, so I might host it online and give people a link if they have questions, they can search for every artist on display. Okay, a couple extra things. An amazing home tour is planned for this exhibition with some of the people here today. And Ferdinand is doing his glass trivia, something he did a long time ago, I think with Tim. And he offered to do it this year for this year's show. So prepare for some interesting questions. I think it's going to happen Friday during the day. So one of the solo exhibitions we have is Jen Bozino's Forget Me Not. Her work explores femininity, icons, a lot of glass purses and children's clothing. We'll go into it in a minute, but she's been preparing for over a year for this show, and she'll have the very first room on the left as you walk in as our solo exhibition. We put out some advertising for the show celebrating Glass 54 to get people aware of what's going on and get tickets. And people are actually getting tickets for the show online, registering. And it's great for us because we build our database, but it's also fun to share the glass art because it's so beautiful with the world. So, Tim, unmute yourself. You join me for a second.
Hi,
Clickety click. There
everybody.
you go.
It is so
Tim,
nice to be back again, I must say.
It's great to have you, my friend. It's been a
I
bit.
thank you
We've
so
been apart
much.
for a bit, but we're grateful to
Yeah.
have you. So tell us a little bit about this piece right here.
This piece is called, it's Michael and I, since I was coming back, decided to do another collaborative piece like we have done in the past. It's all cast glass wall. And this was called The Common Thread. And what it is how humans are connected to each other. So you see, we have two of Michael's figures, dead center of each of those tiles, right in the middle. Both of them, they're supposed to be rather androgynous and also multiracial so that anybody can identify there. The top row is all, well, the four corners are the four seasons. So that's the four seasons. So that time travel, as we go around that connects us. The rest of the top is all about family life. The bottom is about the things we gather in life, whether it's education, it's love life, it's, faith, all that is down below. Time goes by, all the things that connect us. And when we're there, I'll go over more detail if everybody wants to stand in front of it, and I'll tell you about every tile.
That's great, Tim. What about the rope in the center? Is that
That's the
symbolism?
common thread. It connects us, you see, as we go
Ah,
across.
hence the name.
And it's
So
all
to give
quite
you,
multidimensional, yes.
yeah, it is a beautiful work. I'm looking forward to seeing it on display. And
Thank
it's
you.
how big is it, would you say?
It's 3 feet high by 6 feet long.
Ah, okay. Great. All right. Let me ignore the terminology on these pages. This particular work, you have a story to share about this one, don't you?
And do you have the blue one up too?
I do, right here.
Okay, so now here's what happened. Go to the green one. The green one
Sure.
was at Habatat at one point. It was done in my studio. We had all the waxes here. We made the piece, and we sent the mold to Barengo Studio because it was to go into the Venice Biennale, and it did show at the Venice Biennale during Glass Stress. From there, it went to the Boca Raton Museum, where it was shown again. Then it was set to go from there to the Hermitage State Museum. Unfortunately, it was March 15th that it was slated to start shipping, and unfortunately, by the next week, there was no shipping anywhere. That was because of COVID coming. So Barengo went forth and made a blue version of it because he had the mold there. And the blue version did go to the Hermitage, and it did actually show at that space with Ai Weiwei in the central chamber of the Hermitage Museum. Just the two of us were in that room. And then last week, as Aaron will tell you, the green one sold to, if you're old enough here, anyone old enough here can remember Erasure and Andy Bell, the singers from the 80s and 90s. They bought this piece for their private collection last week. So there we go. At least the blue one's left. The blue one's going to go in my museum shows that are coming up starting in January. So it's going to travel with that show.
But it is available. Just has to travel for a
The blue
show.
one, oh yeah, if they're in the museum, they're just you can buy them, you just can't get them for a year, right?
Right. I'll be patient. And then tell us about this return to this work.
All right, so I did a lot of video domes. Many of you remember the video domes, and I love them with all my heart. These particular ones are part of the show that I'm doing. What would America be like if it was a more accepting country? And in this case, these are two men who were born in the late 1800s and were together throughout until 1936. But in the meantime, they had a wedding band. They lived off in the country. They didn't really have much pressure of it. And then the town found out about them and separated them. But they did at one point get a Kodak camera, which you see on top of that screen, that version of it. And at that point, Kodak had just come out with celluloid film. So if you wanted to take pictures, you bought one of those with film in it, you send it to Kodak, and then they process the pictures and send them back. So bizarrely, during that time, these are photographs of same-sex couples. This only couple, this couple that had a wonderful life together, and it shows them in the real world they would have been. The 45 images that they took actually were preserved because they were locked away, and then a great grandnephew was going through their stuff and found the photographs and realized they were important. So these are two Canadian guys named Lynn and Cub, and that is that piece. And what happens is from the photographs, I turn the video on so that each of those photographs now have them putting their arm around each other, giving each other a small kiss, or all moments of tenderness where I kind of give them back the lives they did not have or could not have in their day. Okay, next.
Awesome.
Oh, this is Habitat. This will go right to you. This one is called, oh my God, what the heck is the name of the thing? I got it right here. Hold on. I can't even remember. But that one, as we look, I try to create these worlds, right? And on that one, it's called, oh, there it is, Still Gardens, Restless Air. I went and did, I don't know if any of you know me long enough, but I did a lot of infrared photography when I still could buy film from the Army. And this is the Murakami Museum in Palm Beach. And I took this infrared photo. But I take that photo, and of course, in that photo, I animate that photo it's a video. And so in that photo, yes, we'll be flying saucers, and I believe Godzilla makes an appearance. But I'm showing you this beautiful garden. All those leaves are in white, not because of snow, but because they're infrared. And I adapted that. So you see, I've created the world that the crystal-headed man lives in, and I like creating these worlds. So that is that one. Still Gardens, Restless Air. Next one.
I switched slides. Can you see it?
Oh, I'm going to 1 second here. Yes. Oh, is it the orange top one?
Yep.
Okay. All right. The orange top one. All right. So that one is Everything Rises is called. In my infrared tour, I was in Pittsburgh and found a cemetery with this beautiful sepulcher in the very center of it. It's a beautiful little building. And I took this infrared photograph. But now I've taken the infrared photograph and changed it just a bit. And so now everything that you wish would fly, there's airplanes, there's birds, there's a flying pig. It's called Dreams of Flying. Everything rises. And as you go through, the planes are covered with glass beads and it's all kind of encrusted with glass. And by accident, I went back recently to find out what that building was. And by sheer accident, it is an homage. It is the actual shrine of a man named Ford, but not Henry Ford. It's the man who actually founded Pittsburgh plate glass, the windows you're looking out of, most of you. And so that's the glass form that we use the most in the school. So by sheer accident, God knows how that could be, that is a shrine to him. So you see the different images inside and the videos go on. I also have very calm videos. They all come with 2 videos, each of these this time.
Gotcha, Tim. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to seeing
My
you
pleasure.
and these works in person, my friend. Thank you. And
I
welcome
can't wait to
back.
see everyone.
It's going to be great. Your video has stopped working, just so you know. That matters to you.
My
All
video
right.
has? Oh, I'll find it. I'll find it.
Okay, sounds good. Well, continuing on with the show. So, Tim has a spotlight. There is a huge installation by Philip Baldwin and Monica Guggersberg on display. This thing is 181 inches wide. I couldn't even tell you how long this took to install. This was recently on display at the Fort Wayne Museum of Art for the Fort Wayne show. And I'm sure they were happy we took it because it is an incredible work, but it is a labor of love to install. We installed it early, luckily, and it's something that's going to take up a whole wall of the gallery for you to explore and see. This is actually referencing a sunken ship. We'll have a catalog with the piece on the wall. A boat sunk who knows how long ago, and all these amphora bottles were on the boat, and they all settled to the bottom. The boat disintegrated, and the bottles are all still there on the bottom. It's kind of a wild thing to see. So make sure you check that out. Again, this big glass car is here. The artist has done a huge glass motorcycle in the past. I think he did it twice. And he also creates other lamp works like here we have a Tommy gun here, which is kind of fun. Something new, something incredible from this artist who lives in Tel Aviv. And we fell in love with this work when we saw it at the Scottsdale Art Fair. And we've known about the artist for a long time, but had a chance to actually bring him in for the show. Flew him in, brought the artwork with him. He set it all up, and now it's on display. It's going to be a real highlight for people here in Michigan. The auto world here is really big. We're using that for marketing, trying to get more people to come in and see the show. So we recently went to Scottsdale and had an amazing time there and a great show in Scottsdale. It's our second time doing that show. And of course, we brought Shelley Allen. We figured, the desert area, the horses will be a perfect person to bring, and we did have some sales. Well, she'll be here for our show, and she has an incredible collection of works you're going to love to see. This Chalcedony horse is stunning, along with the rockets on, and this other piece called Painter, which I think is a panther. Just beautiful. Beautiful work by Shelley. She's one of my favorites. I own a couple of pieces of hers in my collection. I just love her stuff. So something different. We got a hold of Rick Allen, Shelley's husband. He's doing these mixed media blown and hanging works. So these are kind of raw photos. What I have so far, I'm eager to see what they look like in person, but they're a collaboration with another artist named Lanny Bergner. So something different for the show. Hopefully we'll get a chance to explore these and do some better photography. Now, many of you know artist Michael Behrens from Germany, represented him for many years, and he has developed a new body of work. And these pictures don't do these works justice because they are very thick. They're as thick as like two arms together, and they have this real amazing texture to the entire exterior of them. They look kind of like candy, and they kind of feel like very organic to the touch. And I'm so excited about this body of work. And we have two, and the orange one's already on hold, and we're excited about this new body of work for Michael Behrens is creating, and he'll be here. Alex Bernstein, he is one of the best sellers we have here at the gallery, making some incredible pieces, and we had him at the show in Scottsdale. He did really well. He's sending some larger scale works. I have a video, if it will play, of this piece. Let me see if it will work. Hopefully it will. Alex walking up and installing this sculpture. And he will be here for the show, along with, I think he's sending in like 6 pieces, along with his new optical work. So honored to have Alex here and bring some amazing, incredible things. Along this video, I didn't watch the whole thing, but it is substantial, and I love seeing what he creates his mastership of light. All right, Martin Blank's coming in. He's sending in some new blooms and some new figurative works. He's such a character. A long time ago during the National, I think maybe in 2012 or 13, he did a talk. And he got up there with a big piece of paper and a giant scroll, and he threw the scroll like he was going to read all day. But it was a joke he did. And so I found recently, I had him autograph that scroll for me, and I found it in my collection. I kept this rolled piece of paper he did a 2-second joke with that I treasure, and I found it. I'm keeping it with my art collection, which is kind of fun. Now we're on to Jen Blazina's show. So Jen's solo show, Forget Me Not, contains multiple purses that she's made out of glass. She's done tons of research. She buys these purses like Birkin bags, all these incredible things, and makes these works out of it. And she also has a new affinity for creating child's clothing. And we've done rather well with this work as well. So she'll have a whole room dedicated. This is a Birkin dedicated to her work, and she will be here. She will be doing a small talk by her space and a signing celebrating her work. I'm still waiting for the posters to come, but she's been busy. She's been busy making a large amount of bodies of work for the show. And she's also had a couple commissions as of late. When we had her down at the Palm Beach show, she had 14 pieces sell at that show alone. So we're continuing our support of Jen, and she's making some interesting and deep works. We got new work in from Christina Bothwell. We had a couple new pieces arrive down in Florida, and Barbara Bash actually bought a piece from us, and she hasn't collected in a long time. And she fell in love with a work similar to this of a deer of Christina Bothwell. So Christina made us two new pieces, mixing her medium of glass and driftwood. And I love when she paints on these pieces. It adds so much depth to every work. She will not be here this year, but we're representing her. We have a good collection of her work on display. Latches of Boyajev, we just saw him in Scottsdale as well. Very substantial works. He's making some of the best work of his career, and he's just a overall great guy. He will be in for the show as well. We have a great collection of his work to see. Substantial master of the material, a master of tone and texture. So expect to be impressed. Now we dive into some of the work that's a little more challenging in appearance and meaningful to the artist. Jeffrey Boughton is a vet from the war, and he deals with his post stress PTSD by creating art and sharing dialogue about his life in the military with other soldiers he calls his brothers, both men and women. My grandfather was in World War II, and he never spoke a single word about being in the war, and that was not healthy. And his psychology behind it is to bring people together who go through the turmoils and the terrors of war and discuss. And by creating these works, it starts the conversations. So they are interesting. Some would say not so much beautiful, but there's such a deeper meaning, and that's the whole point of art is to make you feel something. And I'm excited about him, his work. He'll be here, and he's making some new insane giant things you only see at the show. Longtime friend of the gallery, Peter Bremers, large scale cast glass work inspired by his world travels in the Antarctic and the desert. Expect to be impressed. Peter's just overall one of the best people working in the medium of glass, one of the best artists I know. He will be here with his partner Janet, so expect to see him and expect to see something impressive. Wendy Saxon Brown. I discovered an old catalog here at the gallery from back in the day. I think it was at the other Habatat galleries, like international catalog from back in like the day. And Saxon Brown was in that catalog. And so she's been at this for a while. I didn't know how long she's been making work for. And so she's creating these larger scale sculptures. And the story goes for these is she actually sent some of these to a different gallery and they never came out of the box and the gallery went under. And so we recently got the work sent to us from the other gallery to put on display, and they are really impressive. Now, they're not cheap for sure, but the works are top notch, and you're really going to be impressed when you see them. Next is Thomas Perzone. Hope all of you have a work of Thomas's in your collection. He is an extremely talented Czech artist that really produces beautiful things. His polished carved sculptures, they're not, he makes multiples of the same kind of style and usually different colors and different scales, but he's just an incredible worker, and we're great to have him in the show. We have about 5 or 6 pieces on display. Big installation by Nancy Callan. They're setting this piece up right now on the wall behind me. Each panel is quite large and substantial. They're trying to figure out how to install it because the installation is higher than the support we have in the walls. But each work is blown and then it's slumped to become flat. Imagine blowing a bubble in glass and then it's a big bubble and cutting it so it flattens out. And Nancy, I was watching her because I just got this Lino documentary, Sona Lino, we're watching, and she was talking about her love for Lino, how long she worked with him, how she learned so much from him, and inevitably had to leave working for him, which was very difficult in her career because of the camaraderie they had. But you can see it in her work, her talent, and she's an incredible artist too. Our friend Deanna Clayton, she sold 7 pieces in Scottsdale, 7 to new collectors and old. And she'll be here for the show. Like I said earlier, she made the glass talisman you'll be receiving. She's making a new multi-four-headed sculpture of women that I'm sure will sell in 1 second when people see it, as well as other figurative work. And she's also well known for these pate verre vessels that are quite substantial. So you'll see her here, and she's offering her glass class. If you're coming in for the show, sign up for that class. It's worth it. It's a nominal cost. You get to make a piece with her yourself, and she takes it back and finishes it. It's my wife and I did it. It's a great experience. Then we got Aiken Atek and Josh Davids, the 2 artists from Kalamazoo. Watching what their career has developed to has been incredible as we've shown their work early on, and it has developed into these beautiful visual sculptures. They always had a touch for me of Jay Musler's Cityscapes work, but they have since surpassed with the cold working and the cutting and engraving on every piece. They're still priced really reasonably. If you don't have one, this would be the time to grab one. So Cheryl Ducott we've had before at our shows. She's heavily inspired by the lives of African people living in America and the Black life in America. And she recently did this piece for another museum, and it came back after the museum. We have it on display here. We'll have other works of hers on display. We actually have a QR code we're going to be putting by her piece so people can scan it and learn a little bit about her and her work. Someone new, Natasha, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but I'll pronounce it Decurva, is someone we discovered online when we were down in Sarasota. She makes this ceramic and glass. We found her work rather peaceful and tasteful. And so we decided to bring her work in for the show and show it off for the international. We're excited about it. We're looking to see what kind of response she gets because she's new for us, but she does show in other galleries, so she does have the chops. And then our friend Laura Donifer, she's busy right now, as you well know. She's off, I believe, in Europe. She's working on a documentary that is going to be something impressive when it comes out, talking about her last fashion show. She did a talk for us in Sarasota about the show and the history of the glass fashion show. I have the whole thing recorded on my phone. I just got to figure out a place to put it. But it goes to show how many times she's done this and how much support she had and didn't have, and the characters. My wife and I and Corey and Regina were in the 2012 fashion show, and as many as you know, she has a show coming up in Corning this year, the last fashion show ever. And I heard Corning has sold out. So if you're going, congratulations. If you're not going, go anyway. I'm just kidding. Find your way there. And then with um, Laura, Hannah Gibson's also with her right now in Europe. She takes recycled glass and makes it into glass sculptures of these Lego men. They're usually made out of recycled TV screens, or she's even used COVID vials, just sharing the world around her and what means a lot to her. And these are quite popular because they are recognizable in style and design. Susan Taylor Glasgow, she won't be here this year, but she sent in 4 pieces, including this beautiful butterfly cup and a couple of purses. We have a couple clients that like exclusively buy her work, so I'm sure these will sell and they're priced rather reasonably. So we're honored to have her in the show. Wilfred Grutens will be here from Germany. If you guys aren't familiar with his work, you should be. His work is laminated glass. It all has been hand painted, and it's one of our best sellers as well. Unfortunately, we put this big giant bowl on the cover of all our advertising, and the piece didn't make it to our show. It's still in the studio. We have a blue one that's on display, but it's still available. So if someone really, really wants it, then we can go ahead and acquire it from the studio. Oh, give me a second. My wife is calling me. Let me send her a message. Sugar, I'm in the Zoom. Can I call you back? All right. Next is David Hutchhausen, a longtime member of our Habatat family, who's shown in almost all our internationals. And he has made some incredible works and stunning works for the show. They are reasonable in scale, 13 by 11, and I'm very impressed with his talent. He spends a lot of time out of the country, but I'm glad he's able to send us work for the show. He's not going to be here this year, but he'll be here in spirit. Artist Michael Janis, we've shown for many years now. He is one of the most popular we sell, making these beautiful kiln forward and power printed glass sculptures representing, life. And the works incorporate visuals that seem not so much unnatural, but different. He doesn't want it to feel like it's computerized or built with a robot. He wants him to feel artsy and organic. And so we have 4 or 5 pieces on display for him. And Michael will be here for the show. We're honored to have him. Kim Hardy, a local artist here, is the director of the CSS Glass program. She makes these works that reflect the human body and organic systems. They're another work that's beautiful but challenging in a way. So people really are drawn to these works, especially from the historic aspect, because she's such an impressive teacher and a great person. I really do love this piece, and I love seeing what she creates every time I see her in our gallery. She'll be here. Richard Jolly will be here for the show. He's also speaking. He's made 2 new wall-mounted works that have pink wrens in them, and they are just so fun. Richard Jolly is such an amazing talent. He's been doing this for such a long time, and when he starts making something, you never know what you're going to get. He had a huge popular series back in the day, the Totems, that probably were an insane amount of work, and now he incorporates different pieces that mount to the wall. He is also quite popular and a great friend of our gallery. Claire Kelly, she's so fun and whimsical. We've done really well with her work over the years. She does these free-form elephants on top of, I would call them beans or orbs, as well as foxes in the forest. She has another body of work in which she casts and cuts these forms out of glass. So we'll have a good collection on display for Claire. She will not be here this year, but we'll be thinking of her. John Kiley, another student of Lino, he sent us these incredibly special, I would call them broken glass forms. And in the instructions, it said there might be some glass flaking out of these things. It's perfectly natural. But what's got us a little bit weirded out is they sit on a stand that doesn't even fit under the bottom of the glass. Imagine the piece is like sticking off the side because it's so big. So they're still not set up here. We're figuring that out. He told us to maybe put some epoxy underneath them, but I have a feeling during Saturday's big grand opening, when everybody comes in, these are going to be put on something else just for that particular time. Something wild. I wrote to Marta Klanowska this year and said, "Hey, Marta." She makes usually large animals, dogs or monkeys or bears or fish out of glass in this fun form. And she said, "Hey, I can send you some shoes." And I said, "That'd be great." So these are larger than life. They're probably 4 times the size of regular shoes. And so we're getting 4 sets of Marta Klanowska's shoes for the show, which is kind of exciting. I'm not going to try them on. We'll put them on display, and we're grateful to have her participation in the show. These are kind of raw photos because it's what you sent me so far, but I'm eager for them to arrive. And if you're hungry, and I know you are, Erica Kobayashi has these stunning and important glass food she makes from hand. That's so realistic. She was in like the 2024 Ripley's Believe It or Not book. On the very last page, she was in that book. We got a copy of it here. And her work is so fun. She does Pop-Tarts. She does Twinkies, all made out of real glass. They're all priced really reasonably. Let's say your collection is so big you have no room for anything. You have room for Oreos. You have room for s'mores. They're a lot of fun, and she's great. Artists we showed last year and have done really well with, we acquired recently from Heller, is Laura Kramer. She'll be here for the show. Very textured, very powerful pieces, form. She has these bowls and vessels that have all these intricate things on them. They kind of remind me of Sybil Peretti's work in a way, the other works you're going to see, but she's really known for this kind of textured tone. We did really well with her work last year, and she will be here. Another artist you all should know about, if you don't know, is Weston Lambert. He's probably one of the most popular glass artists working on Instagram, mixing minerals and stone with glass. And I believe that piece on the right, he already sold on Instagram before we even opened the box. It goes to show how popular he is. So we're excited about his work. We're excited to have him here for the show. It's his first time coming for the International. So we got to break him in and make sure he's welcome. And he also makes smaller works, like hand-sized works, which is his primary selling for social media. But we have been done really well with his larger scale work as of the last year we've been showing him. Bill Acquire, many of you know him. Bill's been working in glass for a long time, and he's still working now. Usually we can't get work from him because he's so busy with commissions. When I talk to him, he is so busy with commissions every time I talk to him, which is great. I'm happy for him. But we're grateful to get new work. We have two pieces new to the gallery on display. I think we have 4 total in the gallery. Bill is a legend in the glass world. These works are sandblasted and cut and laminated together, and really has a grasp of the material. John Little and Kate Vogan were supposed to come this year, but they had a family thing pop up. But we've done really well. We sold out of their work in Sarasota. They didn't come to Sarasota, but we sold out of their work. We did some phone calls with them though. So we do what we can do. These are gimbal works where they rotate and move. So you spin them and the light moves and the pieces move and they're like floating treasures. They've become quite popular. They have kind of a Nautica-esque feeling in space all in one. Really popular. Grateful to have them both in the show. Bohazar Lacassi will be here. He's Laszlo Lacassi's son. We have a good spread of his work, I think 4 or 5 pieces. One of the most interesting artists, younger artists up and coming, well trained by his father. So he'll be here for the show. He makes every work by hand. It's very laborious, and he does it all outside and in his studio. Really an impressive artist, someone to keep your eye on for the future. Lucy Lyon, I can't believe you got work from her because she is slammed making commissions for Corey. Many of you may know he's working on a women's leadership project that's keeping a bunch of our artists so busy. But luckily, Lucy Lyon was able to send us these 2 impressive works. One is larger than the other. I'm just a big fan of her work. One thing I will bring up is during last year's invitations for the International, we didn't know what the tariffs were going to do. So we didn't know to invite European artists or not. Obviously, there are ones that we had work here, like Peter Bremers, artists that we don't. So it kind of got a little hokey there trying to figure out how to invite artists because we didn't know. So as we do know now with the proper paperwork, unique art is exempt from tariffs. Luckily, we have all that information. It's changed somewhat recently, but we still have it all. So that kind of put a little wrench into this year's international. Luckily, we were able to get a lot of impressive works sent to us, including Krista Madison from California. We represented her maybe, I don't know, maybe 2015 in our show. And she's mostly well known for her animal heads on the wall that are very colorful and beautiful and very glowy. And so she sent us these really interesting new works we're going to experience in person. They're quite tall, 30 inches tall and 22 inches tall, flame worked, hot worked, kind of, I would say, circusy, underworldly. And they actually physically mount to the pedestals because of how thin the bases are. Something new and different. Robert Mickelson, we had a great presentation of his work down in Sarasota. These are so fun. He makes these on a computer using a program called Blender. And then he gets the plan together and makes them in real life with his own hands. And every work is just an exploration of his creativity. I talked to him about doing a body of work. I talked to him about putting a plan together. He's like, I like to create what I create. And I said, okay, that's the way it's going to be. But every work is very fun and whimsical, and he shows off his immense talent with the flame working world. John Miller will be here for the show, or he's coming in today. He's dropping off some work for our show, including fast food, burgers. He's got this new version of this Coke bottle that's huge. It has a dark, it's called Moxie, which I guess was an old-fashioned soda pop, as well as I think he's dropping off a new ketchup or a new mustard. Always fun to have John around. He's such a great staple here at Habatat. David Patchen, another artist that's really impressive. He spent his life creating after a year in tech. He spent years in tech and during the tech boom and decided, you know what, I'm going to become an artist. He's a master of color. His ability to mix color and marine together is his extreme talent. Usually other artists' work would break or crack when color doesn't get along. If this blue and this red don't get along, they crack. But for him, it's magic every time. So we have 4 new pieces arriving. This is one of them. Expect to be impressed. Coming to the show, Jenny Pullman and Sabrina Knowles will actually be here doing these wall-mounted sculptures that are, there's a word for it, where you take the photo and photo transferring it onto the glass. They explore their world travels. They've been around for a while doing incredible works. We have some beautiful works on display that we have from our collection we're putting on with this new work that they're sending in, and I'm looking forward to seeing them both here. Sit. Tim Lee Rawlinson, we've shown him at our international before. He's another master of color. These are such beautiful and vibrant peat blown and hot sculpted pieces. He's coming in for the first time to see our Glass 54 experience and to join us for the show. And these are much larger than they look. Like this is 12 by 15 and 12 by 15, so it's quite a substantial piece of this kind of lens-like circular glass. And as you all know, glass does not do well in photos compared to real life, so you'll be impressed when you see these works. Colin Reed, we usually sell a piece of his before every show we have. And this is the work he had on display in the UK for a period of time for a mixed group show. And his work was the cover of the catalog. We have it here. After the show was over, he just sent it to us. 34 by 34. It is quite a large work, and it has a large stone granite piece at the bottom. Just another impressive work by the UK artist. And I always try to get more and more because he has different bodies of work. Many of you know he has the optical work when you move around. We had one sell down in Sarasota. These larger cast work. He's just a great overall talent. Something fun. David Ricci, been showing his work for years. These little men will be hidden around the gallery. You may be able to find them. They'll say hello. Each one is made unique by the artist, and they're priced really well to sell. Just something fun and different from David. They're called curious onlookers. So you can make them look at something in your house, maybe a cat bowl, maybe a light bulb, who knows. Longtime friend of the gallery, Marlena Rose, sent us this kimono. It's over here. It's a big kimono, not as big as the biggest ones, but it's quite large, and exploring her sand casting skills. We have a couple other works by her, and she'll be here with Thomas. Always grateful to have Marlena here. She's one of the hardest working women in the glass business. Tom Schoon. So we have some impressive works here by Tom Schoon already. So he sent us these medium-sized pieces that are priced really well compared to some of his larger works. And they called Reflections 1 and 2. They assemble. If you've ever seen one of these, the legs come off, the rocks come apart, everything separates for the install, which is fantastic. And they're just really important historic pieces by the artist. They've been doing this style since the 80s, and we're honored to have them in the show. Many of you might know Carrie Side's work. We've shown her at a couple of our shows. They're actually not glass. So ignore the cold and blown glass comment there. They're actually plexiglass, and they're a form of metal. I can't think of the type of metal off the top of my head. It's actually an A, and they're hand painted. And so she has this laminate of plexiglass in front of it to kind of create an illusion of the work. She was recommended to us by artist Martin Blank, and we've had a long friendship. We'll have two pieces that are quite tall. You'll see them when they're here. So this is 181 inches tall, with two of them, along with some 30 by 30 pieces. Alexis Silk, many of you know her work, female form. I think she's the only female working right now in Italy, in Murano, as a unique glass artist. And she sells these works in Italy and Murano for 10 times the price because people will buy them on their trips. And so she sends us work to represent in the United States, which is fantastic. But like she sells the work to local galleries who then resell it for 10 times the price to tourists, which is kind of interesting and funny. So people who are in the know Habitat get it at the right price. So if many of you have touched Jeremy Sinkis's work, you really got to get your hands on it because this cast like glass, it feels like sponge, and heavy glass feels light. You can lift it with one hand or even two fingers. He's developed his own process. We're really excited about it. You can see the colors work together really well with it. So the sky's the limit. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Jeremy because I have so many ideas for him, but he's working on his own and unique style. So we'll keep an eye. Something new. Many of you know Rob Stern. He does like the clear glass stars or the clear glass pointy objects. Well, he changed transitions. He had two pieces for us for the show, and he sold one before he even got it. So he's onto something here with this new body of work. This work is called First Bloom, I believe. It's 38 tall by 22 wide, humanoid forms dancing, beautiful colors, something completely new for Glass 54, and we're the first ones showing it at an exhibition in Glass Space, so you'll see it live. Michael Taylor is sending some work. He's got these smaller scale pieces that show off his talent and color and mixing of his laminated and cold working process. We did well with these in Florida and hoping we are do well here, and he'll be here for the show. And solo Rob Stern, forgot to mention that. Demetra and Dean will be here. I just love this colorful nest with these soft blue eggs and leaves. Just such a peaceful piece. So we'll have work by Demetra and Dean and on the pedestals and on the wall. If you don't have one of these wall installations by Demetra and Dean, get in line. They are just something that people really, really want. And they do commission works as well. She just finished another one for our clients here in Michigan, which they'll be installing the day after our international. Just great, great, talented artists. And they're very particular on their design. So be prepared for that, which is great. Stephanie Trenchard, she'll be here giving our demonstration for the first time over at Axiom Studios. She works in blown and sand casting processes. So I have no idea what she's going to do, but she'll work it out and we'll go see her do it across the street for one of our first events here at the Glass 54 at Axiom Studios. So these wildflowers are usually flowers around her studio or around her area in Wisconsin, and they're all individual blocks that stack together. One of our first pieces I ever saw from her were stacked teacups, little teacups inside each block that stack together in different styles. I think I probably saw it at the David and Joanne Dens collection here in Michigan in my youth. I was like, this is kind of interesting stuff, but I never really got to know her and learn more about her work until I actually met her later in life. All right, we're getting close to the end here. This is someone new for us, another new artist you'll see on display, Natalie Taylor. Corey invited her to the show. She's here at the Zoom, which is exciting to have her join us. She's has multiple bodies of work, but we kind of picked out her soft butterflies that are pate vert and bronze to be on display. She's coming to install them. She'll be here at the show. You'll have a chance to meet her and talk to her about her work. I'm hoping they'll fly around and we can see them fly. Thanks. Sarah Vaughn will also be speaking at our show. Like I talked about earlier at the very beginning, it kind of has that Emily Brock kind of feeling, but in her own style. This is a smaller work she's sending to us. We'll have three works on display. Big fan of her work. Our first time showing her at the Glass International. We think these works will touch a lot of people, and they're elaborate. They have the ones we have over there, I think, have luggage around them and bags, and each work is uniquely made, as you know, and just fun to have, and someone exciting to be here at the show. And our longtime friend Brent K. Young brought us some fun cubes. cubes in a sphere, kind of like Lebinsky, but done in a different style, right? They're all borosilicate glass, and they're all lampwork by him. And his processes are just incredible, where he makes the pieces and he mounts them to wood, and then he makes more and he removes parts of the glass and he removes the wood, and the works are finished. These are individual cubes that are just kind of leaning against each other for this photo, but Brent is also making some of the best work of his career. And usually the work is huge. Usually they're giant, seven huge giant mountains that fit together. There's one at the Imagine Museum, just fits together. But he did these smaller 13 by 13 cubes, which I think is quite exciting because it's something I could fit in my house versus some of his larger work. And then to finish up, our friend Danny White got us a piece. He was down at the Benziton Center down in Florida. Said he was finishing up a piece for us there. This prize fighter just arrived to us. Someone exciting, someone in the younger glass art world who's really pushing the limits and trying to get attention in a different aspect of the world. He has a big following on Instagram and social media, and he'll be there for the show. So that's Glass 54 for you in a quick explanation. There's so much more to the show, so many more artists I'm not talking about because I only had some time to make this presentation. But it's such a fun experience. If you love glass, you got to be here every year. And we're going to incentivize that. I have some ideas for the future to bring people back and to come join us because some people come and they don't come the next year. We don't know why. We have people think that the same things happen the next year. Well, the show's up, it has all new work, there's a new auction, and we have new events like the Glass Speakeasy Party, which will be fun. But everybody's here. And so you should be here too and joining us for these 54th year of this show. Who else can say that? It's kind of exciting, Bill. Thank you so much. Thank you, AECG, for having me do this today. And I can stop sharing. If you have any questions, this would be the time.
Thank you, Aaron. That was very exciting, and I'm very excited to be seeing you and Tim and all of my friends at the exhibition, and it'll be wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I know this is just a very small smattering of all the different works that you have. It's going to be incredible. Can't wait.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be great to see everybody. This is really like the only time we have a chance to get together with everybody and have the community together. Um, and I'm putting Ferd to work. He's been going with me to the Guardian Institution. He'll be managing the home tour. Um, Kathy will be there. My mother will be a lot of fun to have her involved in this show. Lunches and dinners and parties and all kinds of things. So on top of that, one of the best exhibitions of glass in the world. The community here in Michigan really appreciates it, and we have a great turnout every year for people who love glass.
I'm so happy to be back with you as well. It's very pleasant to be back in the class. I was off with Joyce Scott for several years, which is lovely, and we're still working together. But I'm very happy to also be back with everybody here. And I did notice that Rhoda Morgenstern's father is on this call. So just throwing that out for those of you who know Mary Tyler Moore. Okay.
The one other observation that I never really appreciated until I attended my first Habitat Invitational exhibition was the camaraderie and the collegiality between the artists and how they all talk about their work, get tips about their work, share their experiences, their techniques. I'm not sure that happens in any other art form. It's really beautiful to watch that when you go to when you go to the Habitat exhibition. So I really appreciate learning that about the artists and how well they all get along and share all of the information that their skills and their experiences. It's great. It's absolutely great.
Yeah, they're great people. There is like I go to some other galleries that, especially at art fairs, and they don't allow the artists in the booth at all. They say you guys are not allowed in our booth during the entire sales time here. And I don't quite know why they do that. It's a very disheartening thing to think that they could have such a good community. I did learn, on a side note here, that the jewelry community is totally different. It's very secretive. Nobody wants to know where everybody gets their jewelry from. So there's no like big events for the jewelry people. Everything's done hush hush. So that was kind of fun. Howard, you asked the question. Yes, Howard, we have about 12 to 1,500 people come through on Saturday night at the gallery here for our big grand opening. We reorganized the gallery a little bit due to the amount of people that come, take some pieces and move them or take them out entirely. But we're pretty professional at it by now, knock on computer, that we could be able to have that kind of population come through, and then share the word because the show continues throughout most of the summer, and we bring tours and people back in. So it's kind of fun to do, along with sales, of course. Everything's for sale. If you have a question on anything, let me know. Happy to provide a price list. There's so much information. I'm still punching it all on the computer, but you get the idea.
It's going to be amazing.
Can't wait to see you guys.
Can't wait to see you too, Tim. Well, great to have you all. We'll have any questions, follow up with me anytime, and I look forward to sharing Glass 54, perhaps Glass 55 with you all. Be here or be square.
Is
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good to see everyone.
is Fort Worth still having a big exhibition?
You mean Fort Wayne? Let's ask Charles.
Fort
Hey,
Wayne.
Charles, you're right
Yeah.
here, aren't you? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Absolutely is the answer, Howard.
Great.
Absolutely.
That's what I was hoping the answer would be.
Oh,
Charles gave up his judging job to Brittany. How's that going? Britt.
I'm jealous about it, but I like doing my admin role, Aaron. I'm happy for that.
Yeah,
I carry the pads of paper and pen.
Charles has been organizing our voting for the favorite in the show from the invited judges for well over a decade now. And when the public comes in on Saturday night, they all get 4 silver stars and get to vote for their favorite artist in the show. And whoever gets the most stars then joins the award winners to the show at Fort Wayne, which they've been doing for over a decade. And it originally quadrupled their attendance in the summer. We need more museums to get excited about glass and take this exhibition on the road. We can always take the Glass Awards show and take it somewhere else. We've talked to other museums, but museums have a very distinct schedule, usually years in advance. And so I say, put me on the books in 2029. Just get me in there. What can you do?
Well, and you know what they would learn if they would go along with you, Aaron, is that, and we've learned, having the international show every year is one of the favorite shows of the whole year for not just our community, but for everybody that travels to see us. When is it going to be here? When's it going to be here? And it just, I think sometimes museums don't understand how powerful it could be.
Mhm.
This is the best international glass you'll ever see, and people appreciate that. We hear about it
Yeah,
all the time.
it's
So
it's the
thank you.
cutting. Yeah, Charles, it's like the cutting edge of glass at that blink of an eye, which is right now, right? You're not seeing historic works, you're seeing the cutting edge, and it's a very rare opportunity. I would love for more museums to get excited about that because it kind of relates to people we can get follow on Instagram or fall in love with, and then learn from who they learned from in the past, and trickle back to Richard Jolly or trickle back to Hui or trickle back to Harvey Littleton and find these incredible paths for these amazing artists that have lived or are living today.
Well, great to see everybody today. See you soon, Aaron. Thanks for doing all this today.
Of course, and we'll see you soon, Charles. Travel safe.
Thank you. See you Wednesday.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.